What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And unfortunately, another Monday that we come out as a loser. Now, we get lucky on the team total for the Ravens. They did get it there late with a garbage time touchdown. So that was the only bit we got right yesterday. So we end up missing the teaser. I should have teased the darn Ravens up or just bet the over. That was, just overthinking it on my part. So we lose there. Jared Goff did not get to 206.5 passing yards down there, but the Ravens did score 30 points. So we got that right. Difference between 1-2 and 3-0 is dramatic, but we start the week down 1.37 units. Not that bad, but also not that great. Second straight week, we start off on a Monday with a loser. So Tuesday today, baseball and basketball to get into, and then we get back into football on Thursday. How we went last week was losing Monday, losing Tuesday. We didn't bet Wednesday, and then we won Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll take replicating that this week, but, got to wait and see how it all kind of plays out. This podcast is being brought to you by our friends at Hard Rock Bet. It's not just football season. It's the last week for teams to punch their ticket to the baseball postseason. Who's in, who's out, step up to the plate and take your swing on Hard Rock Bet today. New customers can place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you not only get your winnings, but you also get $150 in bonus bets. Plus, every day of the week, Hard Rock Bet, you can get a baseball parlay boost. New promos every day. Boost your same game parlay and your same game parlay max, so your bet pays out extra winnings. There's new promos every day, so there's always something to bet on. You can bet on everything from football, baseball, and table tennis. Yes, you get the promos for table tennis too. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today and make your first deposit. All right, so it's a baseball basketball day. Let's start talking about basketball. Then we'll do baseball. So the Vegas Aces played a difficult 3-game series in which they almost got knocked out by Seattle. At home, game 3, they needed a bucket and then defense at the buzzer to stop Seattle from scoring to knock them out. The Aces had won 17 straight games, but then they turned around and went 1-1 after their 17-game streak. And, well, they may have been a little tired in game number 1 because they got killed. It was all Indiana in game number 1. Now, what's interesting about this series, the under is 8-2 over the last 10 games between Vegas and Indiana. In fact, you have to go all the way back to May of last year to find a game in which an Aces and Fever game went over. Now, a lot of those games had really high totals. 172.5, 179.5, 180, 179.5. The first game was 165.5, and it went under. It fell 159. This game is 166 from a total perspective, and Vegas is a 9.5-point favorite. Now, I think Vegas wins. I'm not sure Vegas covers, but the one thing about Becky Hammon that I think you can count on is that when the team plays really poorly in game 1 of a series and they give up 89 points, I don't think Vegas is going to allow Indiana to score, even with Boston and company. I mean, there's no Caitlin Clark, obviously, but it doesn't matter. This is still a very good basketball team for Indiana, very well-coached basketball team for Indiana. I think Vegas wins. But I don't think we see a high-scoring game. I think it could very well be somewhere around the line of like an 80-70 type matchup. But Indiana has won 3 straight games against Vegas. Indiana might have Vegas's number. Like, there just might be a thing there. 81-54 on July the 3rd, 80-70 on July 24th, and 89-73 in game 1 of this series. I think we just bet the streak here with the fact that Indiana plays a lot of unders. They're 8-2 to the under over their last 10 games overall. And Vegas is 6-4 to the under over their last 10 games overall, including the last 2 games against Seattle and Indiana, both going under. Defense. I think we're going to see a lot of defense here tonight. I'm going under. Under 166 for the Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever in Game 2 of their best of 5 series in the semifinals of the WNBA. Before we talk about the baseball plays, a reminder about the Tyreek Hill jersey that's available right now. If you would like to win this, all you have to do is subscribe to the BettingPros YouTube channel and comment on this video, and then you are entered in to win a signed Dolphins Tyreek Hill jersey, courtesy of our friends at pristineauction.com. So if you want it, subscribe, comment, and then you might be the very lucky recipient of a Dolphins signed Tyreek Hill jersey. So let's talk unders. We went under in basketball. We're looking at 2 unders coming up here in Major League Baseball. So this is a tough day, all right? Tough week because of the standings. Red Sox are playing the Blue Jays. Blue Jays clinched a playoff berth last night, but Boston is not in yet. They have a 1-game lead over Houston and the Guardians for that 3rd and 2nd wildcard spots. Red Sox have a big game. More on the Astros here in a second, but the Tigers and the Guardians are playing, and the Tigers have lost 6 games in a row. It is Scooble Day against Gavin Williams. Scooble 13-5. Gavin Williams 11-5. Scooble 2.23 ERA. Gavin Williams 3.06 ERA. The history for these 2 teams playing each other is quite interesting. Cleveland leads the series 6-4 this year. Cleveland's been the hottest team in the month of September. They're now 84-72. They're 41-34 at home. And you look at the scores for these 2 teams. I mean, yes, there's a couple of high-scoring games. 7-0 Guardians back in May. 7-5 Guardians back in May. 7-2 Tigers in July. 7-5 Guardians back on the 16th of September. But most of these games, 3-1, 5-0, 2-1, 1-0, 4-0, 3-1. This is a playoff game today. This is a playoff game. We're playing for the division. If the Guardians win, the Guardians will have caught the Tigers in the division. Detroit has lost 6 games in a row. And now it's 85-71 and 84-72. This is a playoff game. And you have 2 outstanding pitchers on the mound who are going to be allowed to go deep into this game today. Scooble's going deep. We know that as long as he doesn't get hurt. They're both probably in the playoffs, but the path is much different. 6.5. That's the total. When it's that low, bet the under. I think the books are telling us we're not seeing any offense here. Gavin Williams, for his games, by the way, 4-0, 3-2, 7-1, 4-3. The last 4 games for him. 5-0, 3-1. You want to go back to the last 6 games for him. Low scoring games. He's given up 0, 1, or 2 earned runs. Scooble is Scooble. We know what Scooble is. 3-1, 8-2 against Miami on the road in his last road start. Very unscooble-like. But that's the time he got hurt. Came out of the game early. White Sox 6-0. Royals 5-0. A's 8-3, but 1-0, 4-3. Generally speaking, it's a low-scoring game when it's Scooble. The totals being 6.5. Look, I think Scooble will be great today. I think he maybe gives up 1 run. Maybe 0, 7 innings, no runs given up. And I think Gavin Williams is going to be great as well. I think he'll come in here and I think it's a 2-1, 3-2, 4, somewhere, 4-1 type baseball game. Low scoring game. At Progressive Field, we're going to play the under. Under 6.5 at -110. I know that's super low. It could be super sweaty, but I think we're in for an old-fashioned baseball pitchers duel here. 2-1 Guardians, Tigers, somewhere in that range. Under 6.5. And the last bet of the day is maybe my most controversial because it is Sacramento, and we talked about Sacramento all summer long about having the ability to score a ton of runs here. However, the total for this game between the Astros and the Athletics is 10.5. 10.5. It's really high. And I know the numbers have been stupid. A's in the game back on June the 19th, 6-4. In that series, it was 3-1, 13-3, 11-4, and 6-4. So at 10.5, you have 2 games going over, 2 games going under. But Javier needs to pitch well today for the Astros. His ERA is awful on the road, but he's only made 2 starts, 0-1 with an ERA over 7.5. But he's only been pitching since the middle of August when he came back off the IL. So last time out, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, and a 5-2 win over Texas. He's facing the best pitcher on paper for the Astros. I mean, Jeffrey Springs, lefty, has been pretty darn good for them. 2-1, 6-0, 5-1, 5-2, 2-1 in his last 5 games. Home and road. 10.5 with the way the Astros have been hitting, with the way that we've seen just a lot of not great offense for either team, the Astros or the A's. I'll take a shot here. We're going to go under. Under 10.5. A's and the Astros. Again, a playoff game for the Astros. They need to keep pace, but the A's are going to play tooth and nail. I just watched them play the Red Sox. 10.5. I know it's a home run hitting ballpark, but it's a big number. This isn't Coors Field. 10.5. Give me the under. Under 10.5. All right, so under Tuesday. Call it the Undertaker Tuesday. Under 166. Vegas. Tigers Guardians under 6.5. A's Astros under 10.5. If you don't like betting unders, I apologize. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.